right, diving into herbalism. We're going deep with this one, focusing on a holistic approach, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like the Holistic Home Apothecary is going to be our guide.
That's right.
So we're talking about how herbs can benefit you, how they actually work, and most importantly, how you can use them, like practical stuff.
Yeah. What really stood out to me was the way the book kind of positions herbalism, It's not just, oh, here's a plant, use it for this.
Right.
It's more about recognizing that there's this connection between people and the natural world.
Ah, that's interesting.
And you can use that connection to improve your well-being.
Okay, so it's almost like a philosophy then, right?
Yeah.
More than just a practical guide.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of philosophy woven into it for sure.
I'm curious how that interconnectedness actually plays out in practice, when you're actually using herbs.
I think it really shapes the entire approach. So, conventional medicine a lot of times focuses on isolating symptoms.
Okay.
Finding that quick fix.
Right. But herbalism is more about you treating the whole person, right?
Yeah.
So mind, body, spirit.
Okay, the whole package.
Yeah, the whole package to restore balance and vitality.
So instead of targeting one specific thing that's going wrong, it's more like...
It's more like tending a garden, right?
Okay.
To help everything flourish.
I like that analogy. So less about chasing symptoms and more about nurturing your body's ability to heal itself.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Herbs are like allies in that process,
Mm-hmm.
They work gently with the body's natural rhythms, not against them.
Now, the book seems to make a distinction between natural healing and pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean it's completely rejecting conventional medicine?
No, not at all. I mean, pharmaceuticals have their place. There are times when you absolutely need them. They can be life-saving.
Of course, yeah.
Especially in acute situations.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't always solve the underlying problem, right? They
Right.
often just address the symptom directly. Herbalism is more about, I think...
Getting to the root of it. Yeah. Supporting the body's own healing mechanism so you can achieve that long-term vitality. It's kind of like choosing to build up your immune system slowly over time versus relying on antibiotics every time you get a sniffle.
That's a really good way to put it.
Mm.
So it's more about fostering that resilience,
Right.
rather than just treating the problem at hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, I'm starting to get how this philosophy really shapes the approach. But enough with the theory. I want to talk about specific herbs because this book is packed with them.
Yeah, it really is.
Where should we even start?
Let's pick a few that kind of highlight the diversity, We got everything from everyday kitchen herbs, like basil, to powerful adaptogens like ashwagandha.
Oh, ashwagandha. I've heard a word called Indian ginseng. Is it really as strong as ginseng?
I think it's strong in a different way. Ginseng is known for its stimulating properties.
Okay.
But ashwagandha really shines when it comes to helping your body adapt to stress. So instead of a temporary energy boost, it actually helps modulate your cortisol levels, which is a key stress hormone.
So it's almost like having a built-in buffer.
Exactly.
Against all that stress.
Yeah, think of it like that.
Okay, that's really interesting. And speaking of everyday uses, the book also mentions basil as being good for more than just cooking.
Oh, basil's amazing.
Right.
It's a perfect example of how versatile these plants can be. Not only does it add flavor to your food, but it's also got these potent antimicrobial properties.
Really?
Which makes it a really effective ingredient in homemade cleaning sprays.
Oh, wow. So you can use it to clean your house?
Yeah. You can even use the essential oil in a diffuser to support respiratory health.
Oh, interesting. So it's like a natural cleaning agent and a respiratory aid.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how versatile these herbs can be. What else? What other herbs are in here?
Well, there's black cohosh.
Okay, black cohosh, yeah.
I know a lot of women find that helpful, especially during menopause.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
It's a great example of how herbalism can provide really targeted support for women's health, It's known for easing a range of those menopausal symptoms.
Oh, for sure.
From hot flashes to mood swings.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, really shows how you can tailor these remedies to specific needs and life stages.
Okay, let's unpack some more of these herbs because this book, there's so many in here.
There are.
I feel like there's something for everything.
Yeah, pretty much. One thing I love about this book is it doesn't just tell you what herbs to use.
Right.
It actually goes into how to, make your own remedies and stuff. It guides you through building a home apothecary, which I think really embodies that connection with nature we were talking about.
I love that. Having your own little collection of remedies, right there, made by you. It feels very empowering. But I'll be honest, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Oh, it's easier than you think.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need any fancy equipment or anything. Like for drying herbs, you can use drying racks.
Screens, even just bundles of string to hang them up.
Oh, that's simple.
And for storing them, brown paper bags, airtight glass jars, that kind of thing.
So very low tech.
Yeah.
Doable. I like that.
Yeah. And then for making the actual remedies, a mortar and pestle is handy for grinding stuff up. And a double boiler is good for making infused oils and salves.
Okay, so pretty basic stuff. What about the techniques themselves, like drying the herbs properly, storing them? Are there any, like, secret tips I should know?
I mean, the most common method is air drying.
Okay.
So you just hang them in bundles or spread them out on racks somewhere warm, dry, and make sure there's good ventilation. The key is to keep them out of direct sunlight.
Right.
That way the color and potency stays, nice and strong. And then once they're all dry and brittle, you got to store them in airtight containers somewhere cool and dark so no moisture or light gets to them.
I can already picture like a whole shelf of jars, each one different color, filled with like nature's medicine.
It's beautiful. Now, I want to go beyond just drying and storing because this book talks about all sorts of cool stuff like tinctures and salves.
Oh, yeah. Tinctures are fun.
What are those exactly?
So basically they're like concentrated extracts.
Yeah.
You soak the herbs in alcohol for a few weeks, and that kind of pulls out all the good stuff.
So the alcohol acts as, what, a solvent?
Yeah, exactly. It draws out those medicinal compounds. It's kind of like brewing a super strong tea, but with alcohol instead of water.
Oh, so that's how you get those little potent drops you see in the health food stores.
Yeah, that's it.
What about salves? Are those the ones you use on your skin?
Yep, they're topical preparations, good for moisturizing, protecting the skin, even healing.
Okay.
And they're made by combining infused oils with beeswax or something similar to make it thicker.
Yeah.
So you end up with this nice balm-like consistency.
Ah, I see.
Easy to apply, really soothing.
And what's an infused oil exactly? Is it as simple as just like mixing herbs with oil?
It's a little more than just mixing, yeah. You got to heat the herbs in the oil over low heat very slowly for several hours.
Okay.
And that lets those beneficial compounds really seep into the oil. It's like a slow dance between the herb and the oil, extracting all the good stuff.
That's such a nice way to put it. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, the book also mentions compresses, and I'm not quite sure what those are.
Compresses. They're more of a direct approach. So you make a strong herbal infusion or decoction, essentially steeping the herbs in hot water to extract their medicinal properties.
Okay.
And then you soak a cloth in that warm liquid, wring it out, and apply it directly to the skin.
Oh, so it was like a warm herbal wrap, essentially.
Exactly. It's that moist heat combined with the therapeutic properties of the herbs, really soothing and effective.
For what kind of things would you use a compress?
Oh, all sorts of things. Sore muscles, inflammation, headaches, even wound healing.
Oh, wow. So they're really versatile.
Yeah, very versatile.
Now, I can't forget about essential oils. They're everywhere these days, but how do they fit into all of this?
Essential oils, they're like the concentrated aromatic compounds of the plant. Super potent, a really powerful way to experience those benefits. You can diffuse them for aromatherapy, dilute them in a carrier oil for topical use.
Right.
You can even add them to your cleaning products.
I bet you have to be careful with those, though, right? Since they're so strong.
Absolutely. Always dilute them properly before putting them on your skin. And some oils aren't safe for everyone, especially pregnant women, kids, or people with certain health conditions. Always do your research or talk to a qualified aromatherapist if you're unsure.
Good advice. So we've covered tinctures, salves, compresses, essential oils. Are there even more types of herbal preparations? This is like a whole secret world.
Oh, there's always more to discover. You've got herbal vinegars. Those are great for salad dressings, marinades, even cleaning. And you can infuse honey with herbs, make a nice soothing remedy for a sore throat, or just a sweet treat.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And of course, there's always herbal teas. Can't forget those.
It's last.
Yeah, the classic way to enjoy the benefits of plants. Simple and comforting.
I love a good cup of tea.
Yep.
Is there anything special I should know about making herbal tea?
Well, the variety is endless. You can create your own blends to address specific needs, like chamomile and lavender for calming before bed, or ginger and peppermint for digestion after a big meal.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It's all about experimentation, finding what works for you.
I'm realizing that building a home apothecary isn't just about stacking up on supplies.
Right.
It's really about learning and experimenting and connecting with these plants on a deeper level.
It's a journey, and that's part of the fun.
Speaking of journeys, this book goes beyond just individual herbs and how to use them.
Mm.
It delves into broader topics like digestive health, the gut-brain connection,
Yeah, that's fascinating.
stress management. It's almost like a holistic wellness guide.
It is. It kind of weaves together that practical stuff with a deeper understanding of how our bodies and minds work as a whole.
The gut-brain connection especially. I'm really fascinated by that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's crazy to think that what's happening in your gut can actually affect your mood, your energy.
Even how clearly you think.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah?
And the book seems to say that herbalism offers a gentle way to support that connection.
Yeah, it really does. It highlights herbs that can help soothe the gut lining, reduce inflammation, and promote a healthy balance of bacteria.
So it's not just about, like, fixing digestive problems like bloating or constipation.
Right.
It's about creating an environment where your gut can actually thrive.
Exactly.
And in turn, support your overall well-being. Are there any herbs that, like, really stand out for that?
Absolutely. Herbs like chamomile, lemon balm, and skullcap are great for calming the nervous system.
Okay.
And that helps reduce stress, which is often a major contributor to gut imbalances.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then you have herbs like marshmallow root and licorice root. They have a soothing effect on the gut lining, helping to reduce inflammation and promote healing.
So it's like a two-pronged approach.
Yeah.
Calming the mind and nurturing the gut.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
What about prebiotics? I've heard those are really important for gut health.
Oh, prebiotics are essential. They basically feed those beneficial bacteria in your gut, helping them thrive and maintain a healthy balance. And there are lots of great prebiotic herbs like chicory root, dandelion root.
Dandelion root.
Yeah, even dandelion. And burdock root.
Wow, I never thought of dandelion as being beneficial for your gut.
It's full of surprises.
It really makes you look at those everyday plants differently, doesn't it?
It does.
So the book actually has a recipe for a gut repair tea that uses some of these gut-soothing and prebiotic herbs.
It does. What's in that? Well, it features calendula, which is known for its anti-inflammatory and wound-healing properties, along with licorice root for its protective effects, and plantain, which is really soothing and helps promote tissue repair.
Sounds like the perfect blend for a happy gut. I'm definitely going to have to try that one.
It's a good one.
Now, stress management. That's something I think everyone struggles with. Does the book offer any wisdom on that?
Oh, definitely. It takes a pretty multifaceted approach. One thing it emphasizes is incorporating adaptogens into your routine.
Adaptogens, yeah. Like ashwagandha, holy basil.
Exactly. Those are the ones. It's interesting how they keep popping up in different contexts, right?
Right. They're good for everything.
It speaks to their versatility, you know? They help address those underlying imbalances rather than just masking symptoms.
They're like little superheroes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Helping us navigate the stresses of modern life.
And along with adaptogens, the book also talks about calming herbs, for stress relief, herbs that soothe the nervous system and promote a sense of peace.
Yeah, like chamomile, lemon balm, passion flower, skullcap. Nature's little whispers of calm, They help ease that tension, quiet that racing mind.
I love that.
The book even has a recipe for a calm your nerves tea that combines those soothing herbs.
I need that tea.
Don't we all?
I'm seeing how these tea blends can be more than just a drink, It's like a ritual, incorporating those herbs into your daily life.
Yeah, it's a ritual of self-care, taking a moment to nourish yourself and connect with the healing power of plants.
Okay, one more area I want to touch on. Mood support. Can herbs actually help with things like low mood or anxiety?
They can, but it's important to approach this with sensitivity and awareness. For example, the book mentions St. John's wort for uplifting mood support.
Okay.
It's been used for a long time to help with mild depression.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
But it's really important to note that it can interact with certain medications.
Right, so you got to be careful.
Absolutely. Always talk to your doctor before using St. John's wort, especially if you're on any other meds.
It's a good reminder that even though herbs are natural, they can still be powerful.
Oh, for sure.
And you got to respect that. What about for those looking for more calming, grounding support, like for anxiety or restlessness?
There are some great options for that, too. Ashwagandha, holy basil, reishi mushroom.
Oh, yeah, reishi. I've heard about that one, too.
They're all known for their calming, grounding properties. They can help reduce anxiety, promote relaxation, even help you sleep better. And the book has a recipe for a stress relief tonic that combines ashwagandha and holy basil with cinnamon. It's traditionally mixed with warm milk or water and sweetened with honey. Really nourishing and comforting.
Oh, that sounds lovely. So we've got options for uplifting mood and options
Yes.
for calming down.
Exactly. You can find what works for you.
Now, the book also has this recipe for a resilient smoothie. What's that all about?
Oh, that one's designed for those who need a little energy boost, maybe an afternoon pick-me-up or something to support mental stamina.
Oh.
It combines maca powder, which is known for its energizing properties, with cacao nibs for mood lifting, and, of course, ashwagandha to help manage stress.
So it's like a triple threat for energy and mood.
Exactly. It's a delicious way to support both mental and physical resilience.
I love how these recipes make it so easy to incorporate herbs into your diet. It's not just about taking pills or supplements. It's about finding ways to make it a part of your everyday life.
That's the key, making it sustainable and enjoyable.
Now, we're heading into cold and flu season, so I'm sure a lot of listeners are wondering about herbs for immune support.
Of course, that's always a big one this time of year.
Does the book offer any guidance there?
Oh yeah, definitely. It highlights several herbs that are known for their immune-boosting properties. Elderberry, echinacea, astragalus, and mullein are all great allies, especially during those winter months.
We've talked about echinacea before. What about the others?
They each have their own unique benefits. Elderberry, for instance, is known for its antiviral properties.
Oh,
It can help fight off those viruses and maybe even lessen the severity of your symptoms if you do get sick. Astragalus is more of a long-term tonic.
okay.
It helps build up your resilience and protect you from those respiratory illnesses. And mullein, with its soothing properties, is great for supporting lung health and easing coughs and congestion.
So it's like having a whole team of plant protectors on your side.
That's a great way to put it.
The book even has a recipe for a winter immune tonic. That sounds perfect for staying healthy all season long.
Yeah.
What's in that?
It combines elderberries and astragalus,
Okay.
infused with cinnamon for warmth and that extra soothing effect.
Sounds delicious. And for those who like things a little sweeter, especially for kids, the book also has a recipe for elderberry syrup.
Oh yeah, elderberry syrup is a classic. It's so easy to make too. You just simmer the elderberries with water and sweeten it with honey.
That sounds way better than those store-bought cough syrups. Okay, for those who are brand new to herbalism and maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed by all of this, what's the best way to get started?
Start simple. Don't try to learn everything at once. Pick one or two herbs that interest you and just focus on those. Learn about their properties, how to use them, maybe try a simple tea or a relaxing bath blend.
Yeah, dip your toes in.
Exactly. And then as you gain confidence, you can gradually expand your herbal repertoire.
It's a journey, not a race.
That's it.
And we've learned that herbalism is all about connecting with nature and finding what works best for you. Now, this book, it goes even deeper than just the physical aspects of herbalism.
It does.
It talks about using herbs for emotional and energetic healing.
Yeah, that's a whole other fascinating dimension.
It is. To be honest, I don't know much about that side of things. How do herbs work for emotional and energetic healing?
It's a beautiful concept. The idea is that herbs can interact with our subtle energy systems, helping restore balance and well-being on a deeper level. So it's not just addressing physical symptoms, but also the emotional and energetic patterns that might be contributing to disease, you know?
So recognizing that our emotional and energetic states are just as important as our physical health.
Exactly.
And that herbs can support us on all those levels.
It's a holistic approach, honoring the interconnectedness of our being.
What are some of the key herbs for that kind of work?
Oh, there are so many. For calming and soothing the nervous system, you've got chamomile, lavender, rose. For grounding and centering, vetiver, sandalwood, frankincense.
Okay.
And for uplifting and energizing, citrus oils like lemon and orange are great.
It's amazing how just smelling those herbs can affect how you feel.
Aromatherapy is incredibly powerful. You know, our sense of smell is directly connected to our limbic system, which controls emotions and memories. So when you inhale those aromas, they can have a direct impact on your mood.
It's like a shortcut to your emotions.
You could say that. The book also talks about using herbs with practices like yoga and meditation to enhance the experience.
How would you do that?
Well, imagine diffusing lavender or chamomile during meditation to help you relax and find that peace. Or using grounding herbs like vetiver or sandalwood during yoga to help with stability and focus.
It's like using the power of plants to create a more intentional experience.
Exactly.
Now, the book also talks about the ethical side of herbalism, sustainability. Being responsible. I think that's so important, you know? It's not just about taking from nature.
Right.
It's about honoring and protecting it.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that we're part of this larger ecosystem and our actions have consequences. The book especially emphasizes ethical wildcrafting.
Wildcrafting, that's gathering herbs from nature, right?
Yeah.
Sounds adventurous, but I bet there's a lot to consider ethically.
Oh, for sure. You need to have deep respect for the environment and understand sustainable harvesting practices.
So not harming the plants or the ecosystem.
Exactly. Only harvest from abundant populations, don't disturb the ecosystem, and never, ever harvest endangered plants.
We're guests in nature.
That's a good way to think about it.
Not entitled to just take what we want.
It's about approaching wildcrafting with reverence, gratitude, and making sure we leave things better than we found them. The book also stresses how important it is to identify plants correctly when wildcrafting.
Why is that so important?
Well, for safety first and foremost. Some plants are toxic, even deadly, and you don't want to mix those up.
Right, of course.
And even if a plant is safe, you need to know how to harvest it properly to ensure it keeps growing.
So it's not just about knowing what the plant looks like. It's about understanding its life cycle, how it fits into the ecosystem, and how to harvest it without harming it.
Exactly. It's about knowledge, respect, and a willingness to learn from nature.
What if you're not wildcrafting, though? What are some things to keep in mind when you're buying herbs or herbal products?
Well, try to choose organic and sustainably harvested herbs whenever possible.
Okay.
And consider supporting small, local herb farms or businesses that prioritize the environment.
So basically, voting with your dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
By supporting ethical and sustainable practices, we can make sure these plants are around for future generations to benefit from.
That makes sense. It's about creating positive change with our choices.
It all adds up.
This has been such an incredible deep dive. I'm feeling so inspired to bring more herbs into my life, and I hope our listeners are feeling the same way.
Me too. It's been a great conversation.
So what would you say to those who want to keep learning and exploring this world? Where should they go from here?
Oh, there are so many amazing resources out there. This book is a great starting point. There are also tons of other books, websites, courses devoted to herbalism.
Are there any that you particularly recommend?
Oh, let me think. The Herbal Medicine Maker's Handbook by James Green is excellent. And Rosemary Gladstar's Medicinal Herbs, a beginner's guide. That one's a classic.
Okay, I have to check those out.
And there's a great website called Learning Herbs that's full of useful information.
Perfect. And as always, we encourage our listeners to do their own research, talk to their doctor or other qualified healthcare providers, and approach herbalism with respect, responsibility, and a sense of wonder. All right, welcome back. We've covered a lot of ground in our herbalism deep dive so far.
We have.
Philosophy, benefits, the ethics, all of it.
It's been quite a journey.
But now I'm ready to get my hands dirty, like actually making something.
I know, me too. It's time for the fun part.
Let's dive into those DIY herbal preparations.
All right, let's do it.
Now, the one that's really caught my attention is tinctures.
Oh, yeah, tinctures are great.
They seem so, almost magical, right? Turning plants into these potent little drops.
There's definitely a certain allure to them.
So what's the secret? How do you actually make a tincture?
Well, it's actually pretty straightforward.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You start by chopping up your herb pretty fine.
Okay.
Then you pack it into a glass jar and you cover it completely with high-proof alcohol.
Like vodka or something?
Yeah, vodka, brandy, something like that.
And that's what, pulls out all the goodness from the plant.
Exactly. The alcohol acts as a solvent, extracting those medicinal compounds and preserving them. That's why tinctures last so long and are so potent, even in small doses.
So that's the alcohol that makes them shelf-stable, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
Any tips for making a good tincture?
Definitely start with high-quality dried herbs.
Okay.
That makes a big difference. And make sure the alcohol completely covers the herbs.
No air pockets.
No air pockets, yep. Then you seal it up tight, store it in a cool, dark place for at least 4 weeks, shaking it every now and then.
So it's a bit of a waiting game.
It is. Patience is key.
But I bet it's worth it.
Oh, absolutely. And after those 4 weeks, you just strain it through cheesecloth to get rid of the plant matter, and there you have it, your tincture.
I can't wait to try that. Now, what about salves? Those soothing balms for dry skin and stuff.
Oh, salves are wonderful.
Yeah.
So comforting.
Where do you even begin with those?
Well, the first step is to make an infused oil. Remember, we talked about those.
Yeah.
You gently heat those dried herbs in a carrier oil, like olive oil or almond oil, over low heat for a few hours. Let all those good things from the plant seep into the oil.
Like a slow, gentle infusion.
Exactly. capturing all that plant wisdom.
I love it. And then what? Once you have your infused oil.
Then you mix it with beeswax.
Ah, that's what gives it that balm texture.
Exactly. You melt the beeswax in a double boiler, then stir in your infused oil, any essential oils you want to add, and as it cools, it'll solidify into a lovely salve.
Pour it in the little jars, and there you go.
Yeah, it's so satisfying, and there's something special about using something you made yourself, you know?
I know, it's like you put a little bit of yourself into it.
Exactly. Okay, how about compresses? Those are next on our list.
Yeah, compresses. Now, those are the ones I'm a little fuzzy on.
Oh yeah, compresses. They're all about direct application, so you need to make a strong herbal infusion or decoction first.
So we're steeping the herbs in hot water.
Right, to get all those medicinal properties out. Then you soak a cloth in that warm liquid, wring it out, and apply it right to the skin.
So you're using the warmth and the moisture to deliver those benefits.
That's it. It's like a warm herbal hug.
What kind of things would you use a compress for?
All sorts of things. Sore muscles, inflammation, headaches.
Wow.
You can even use them to help wounds heal. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a very gentle but effective approach.
Now, the book also mentioned herbal vinegars, and I have to say, those sound really intriguing.
Oh yeah, herbal vinegars are fun. They're a great way to preserve those herbs, especially the ones you'd use in cooking.
Okay.
So it's kind of like making a tincture, but instead of alcohol, you use apple cider vinegar.
Ooh, so you're infusing the vinegar with the herbs.
Exactly. You fill a jar with your herbs, cover them completely with the vinegar, seal it up tight, and let it sit for at least 2 weeks, shaking it every now and then.
And then you can use that vinegar for all sorts of things.
You got it. Salad dressings, marinades, even sauces.
Really?
Yeah. And some herbs, like rosemary and thyme, they have antimicrobial properties.
Oh, right.
So you can even use those vinegars for cleaning.
Wow, that's amazing. So many uses.
Right. It's like this multi-purpose herbal infusion.
Okay, one more preparation I want to ask about. Herbal powders.
Oh, yeah. Powders are great.
They seem really convenient.
They are, especially if you don't want to mess with liquids. How do you make those?
Well, you basically just take your dried herbs and grind them up really fine.
Using a mortar and pestle.
Yeah, mortar and pestle, spice grinder, whatever works. Then you store that powder in an airtight container, keep it in a cool, dark place, and it's ready to go.
So it's like having a concentrated form of the herb that you can easily add to things.
Exactly. Smoothies, capsules, you can even make your own tea blends with them.
I bet they're good for traveling too.
Yeah, easy to pack.
Okay, I feel like we've covered all the basic preparations now.
We have. That's a good overview.
Let's get into some of those recipes. I'm especially curious about the ones for immune support, with winter coming.
Oh, good call. The winter immune tonic is a great one. It combines elderberries and astragalus.
Those are both good for immunity.
Powerful immune boosters. And then it's infused with cinnamon, which adds that warmth and makes it really nice and soothing.
It sounds like a delicious way to stay healthy during those cold months.
It is. And if you prefer something sweeter,
especially for kids.
the book also has a recipe for elderberry syrup.
Elderberry syrup, I've heard so much about that.
It's a classic and so easy to make. You just simmer elderberries with water and sweeten it with honey.
Wow, that's it?
Yeah, it's that simple. And it's packed with immune-boosting benefits.
I'm definitely adding that one to my list to try.
You should.
Okay, I feel like we've covered so much, but I'm sure some listeners are feeling a little overwhelmed.
It's a lot to take in.
Like, where do I even begin?
Right, I know the feeling. My advice, start small. Don't try to do everything at once.
Okay.
Pick 1 or 2 herbs that you're really drawn to. Learn about them. Try a simple preparation like a tea or a bath blend.
Dip your toes in, basically.
Exactly. And then as you get more comfortable, you can branch out and explore more.
It's all about that journey, right?
That's the heart of herbalism, finding what works for you, connecting with the plants.
I feel like I've learned so much in this deep dive, and I'm so excited to keep exploring this world. And I hope our listeners are feeling inspired too.
I hope so too. There's so much to discover in the world of herbalism.
And if you want to keep learning, there's so many amazing resources out there.
Oh yeah, there are.
This book is a great foundation, but there are also tons of other books, websites, courses, all dedicated to the power of plants.
There's a whole community of herbalists out there sharing their knowledge and passion.
It's really inspiring. And as always, we encourage our listeners to do their own research, talk to their doctor or a qualified herbalist, and approach this practice with respect and responsibility.
And don't forget the wonder. That's a big part of it too.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us on this herbalism journey. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
It's been a pleasure.
And until next time, happy herbing.